122 to 114, the Sacramento Kings in their home opener disappoint very mightily, I would say. The fans were very disappointed. Steph Curry essentially left off where he ended a phenomenal performance of 50 points in the playoffs, Game 7 a few months ago. He didn't skip a beat. He scored 41 points tonight. He was on fire. You heard lots of Warrior fans underneath of me in my section 104, but I will say that the majority were Kings fans tonight once again. So Kings fans protected home court. Who did not protect the home court was the players on the court. Unfortunately, it's just game 2 of 82 games. There's 80 games left. So let's see what happens. The Kings need to continue to roll with the punches, and then we'll just go from there. But let's talk about tonight's game and the biggest takeaways. Uh, we had the press conference with De'Aaron Fox, with Coach Mike Brown, and with Keegan Murray today. And I would say out of all three guys that spoke, the biggest takeaway for me was the fact that Keegan Murray said that Kevin Huerter is the best shooter on the team. I thought that was very interesting. I don't agree with that. I believe Keegan's the best shooter on the team. But it just comes to show, which was my early tweet today, that regardless of Kevin's struggles, he needs to continue to shoot that basketball no matter what, okay? It will do his team a disservice if he just passes up these open shots. He had clean looks today. He took the right amount of shots. He just missed them, and he's going through a rough little stretch. You know, some of the guys asked Mike Brown about what he can do, and Mike essentially said it's something that he needs to just figure out, man, because he's been in the league long enough to where we all know that guys go through cold stretches. It's part of basketball. What's he going to do moving forward? Can he impact the game in different aspects? And the question right now is no. He's not very good defensively, but he needs to continue to play hard on that end. You know, he tried to guard Steph. Steph cooked him a lot tonight, but Steph cooks everybody. So it's just one of those things, man, where he's just struggling. And a lot of the guys, even Duarte didn't shoot the ball very well, and his misses were just, they were pretty bad today. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Chris's shots weren't very good, but his defense was exceptional. His defense was very good, and Mike really couldn't keep him off the floor. He was being very physical with Steph. Steph felt him, as Mike said. We all saw it. We all felt it here at Golden One Center. So I liked his performance overall, but make no mistake about it, Chris Duarte did not shoot the ball very well today. So that's one of those things, man. And then obviously, I talked about supporting your local businesses earlier before the game started. I saw a lot of people go to Butcher and Barrel, go to Medici Sacramento. I love seeing that. I saw the other businesses around Doco, around the Hardin as well, completely full of fans. I love seeing that. You guys supporting your local businesses. So huge shout out to you guys. Huge shout out to Medici Sacramento right across the Golden One Center. Best pizza in Sacramento. Make sure you guys check them out and tell them the Cowboy Kingdom sent you guys, man. Stephen Curry, man, 41 points. The guy is just so entertaining to watch. And sometimes I'm just left in awe of him, the way he gets up his shots, how he can just put you to sleep, and then the way he celebrates. It hurts a lot, but as a fan, it hurts. But to be able to really experience greatness and watch it firsthand is just second to none. So crazy to see that. And then on the other hand, you got De'Aaron Fox, who is just an exceptional basketball player, a superstar. The guy is a real deal, no question about it. And to see him essentially go toe-to-toe in a heavyweight battle against Steph Curry, he had 39 points of his own. So It's just crazy. And he talked about that he needs to be more aggressive earlier in the game. He tends to always turn it on in the fourth quarter, which again, you get the you get paid the big bucks to be clutch, and the stars show up in the fourth. So I know people will want to criticize him because he's more so trying to get everybody else involved in the first three quarters, and then he just has this switch to where he needs to just turn it on, and he does, right? Like, it's incredible the amount of damage he can do in the fourth quarter by himself. I don't agree with a lot of the people that say that he needs to be more aggressive. I think he's aggressive, and he's just creating for others and trying to get everybody else good touches and quality high quality shots, which I believe he did tonight. The Kings just missed a lot of good looks that they typically make. So, it's one of those things where I have no issues with De'Aaron Fox at all in any way, shape, or form. First quarter, second quarter, I feel like he's fine all throughout the game, man. Like, he does his job. Davion and Herter performances are alarming. Davion is 0 points in 2 games. Yikes. Well, he's not out there to score, but yes, it is a little bit concerning in the sense that even tonight when he tried to go into Wiggins after they got a turnover and little things like that could stop the momentum, and Fox talked about this. He said he was more concerned about the second quarter rather than the third quarter, and I agree with him because they were up double digits and they ended up trailing at the half by 3. So that means that the Warriors went on a huge run to end that quarter, and that just really set the tone for the rest of the game. So that's something that, as Fox said, they need to be able to correct on the fly, and they just couldn't. They just could not. And by the time they made their run, they started hard hedging on Steph Curry and trying to get the ball out of his hands. It was a little bit too late because when you look at the box score today, the second best player was Klay Thompson with 18 points, right? He was 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. He caught fire in that third, I think. He's only 2 of 2 from the free throw line. You can live with it. It just looks so similar to what happened in Game 7, where Steph just went berserk. And, even someone like Andrew Wiggins, he only had 11 points tonight. It's not like the others just beat you. Sometimes you just have to take the ball out of his hand, man. And I forget what game it was in the playoffs where Draymond killed you, right? Where the others beat you. Tonight, you knew early on that Steph had it going. And once you see that, it's like, okay, let me see if anyone else can beat me. Let me see what I can do as a team collectively to try and take the ball out of his hands. And I just felt like Mike Brown adjusted to that a little bit too late. And when it happened, and again, it takes a lot of energy to come back when you're down 20 points. They didn't give up. He was proud of that. I was proud of that from a fan's perspective, that they came back, they played hard, they finished the game the right way, and you got to applaud that. But at the end of the day, it's game 2 of 82 games. It's going to happen, right? But what I don't like, again, is the fact that sometimes it just seems like there's this lack of attention to detail on the defensive end, and tonight they had too many lapses. Yeah, they didn't allow that many second chance points, but when you're making essentially a lot of your shots, they shot 43%, almost 44% from beyond the arc. Like, there were mental breakdowns that shouldn't be happening. They shot 55% from the field, and as Mike Brown said, De'Aaron Fox said, that really can't happen. So they got to try and make things more difficult, set the tone up top, don't get beat off the dribble, the little things that make everything. And to your point, yes, Davion Mitchell, and he played 11 minutes tonight. He was 0 of 2 He shot 1 3. You know, he tried to be physical. I give him credit for that, but he's just not that much of a threat offensively at the moment. He has skills, but in this type of offense, where Malik Monk is superior to you in every sense of the word, especially with the ball in his hands, and now he can facilitate, and we saw the connection once again tonight with JaVale McGee, how special they are together. Where does that leave Davion? He's an undersized shooting guard that can't shoot right now. He's a very good defender, but as I said in the summer, like, you have to find ways to go out and get yourself a nice 3-and-D type of guy. I think they have one in Chris, but that's not enough, right? Like, you have to find another Chris Duarte. And again, you know, I know he shot 1 of 7 from the field and 0 of 4 from beyond the arc today, but he was getting fouled, and too many times we saw a lot of the mockery that these refs make to keep games close, and they really helped the Warriors come back in the second quarter. That non-existent foul on Davion, that really turned the tide. The way they blew up that DHO to end the first half, I mean, that's a 4-point swing right there. And you see these little things that begin to add up, and then you see where other guys swing at you, right? And yes, he missed a layup, but when you're allowed to not play by the rules, it makes it that much more difficult. And you know, Mike Brown was being politically correct when he was saying that the Warriors are going vertical. The Warriors weren't going vertical, so I mean, come on, the Warriors are fouling them. So it's just one of those things where you just got to roll with the punches, watch the tape, see the mistakes you made, and try to not make those mistakes again. That's the goal for the next game. The next game's going to be massive. It's super important for both teams. The Lakers need to make a statement. The Kings definitely got to make a statement in front of their home crowd. They really can't afford to lose that game. You know, AD is getting criticized left and right. It's a big game for both. Sabonis needs to show up again. He had 18 rebounds tonight, 19 points. It's a good game. 7 assists, damn near a triple-double. He had 3 steals. He only had 1 turnover tonight. I still feel like on the little floater, hook shots, whatever you want to call those, he needs to shoot the ball. Like, when you're on that wing, use the glass to your advantage and just shoot the ball regularly, like a regular free throw. You don't have to show how unconfident you are at times and just want to just push the damn shot in. Like, just shoot the ball. That's what he needs to do. Shoot the basketball. But overall, he had a strong game. Harrison Barnes, 10 points. We gave him a 2-game pass. That's kind of what we expected right after scoring 30 points to have 10 points. Mike Brown talked about it and not being his fault in terms of lack of aggressiveness. He only took 5 shots. It's more within the flow of the offense, and he feels like the Kings weren't moving the ball the way they usually do. So that's part of him only taking 5 shots today. Okay. Keegan Murray, obviously 6'16". He had about 3 to 5 in and outs, and Mike Brown talked about that as well. You know, 16 points, 7 rebounds. The guy's going to be a star in his league. And it's crazy just to say it like that, right? Because I didn't see that in the draft process, right? I'll be honest. But his demeanor on the court, his ability to actually shoot the ball, come off of pin downs, the way he shoots on the move, like his movement shooting skills is just insane. He can shoot over anybody, and he's more deceptively athletic than people give him credit for. Like, he can actually like fly. Like, he's a very good athlete. You know, he's not a twitchy athlete, but he's functionally very good. Like, he's a very functional athlete. And we see it every night, like the way he attacks the rim, how he can hang in the air, maneuver his body. The kid has that gear that is only going to get better as he progresses throughout the season, as he gets older, stronger, more experienced. Once he understands how to draw fouls, like, these are all things that I'm looking forward to in this game. But right now, I mean, he's really good already in year number 2. So props to him. Again, 16 points, 7 rebounds. It doesn't pop as oh my gosh, or it doesn't reflect as an oh my gosh game. But again, he's just solid all the way around. De'Aaron Fox, 39 points, 6-7 from the free throw line. The guy's just a beast. He was 5 of 9 from beyond the arc. He's special, man. He's a superstar, right? There's a big gap, I would say, from Fox and everybody else on this team in terms of just star power. Kevin Huerter, 0-5 from beyond the arc. He got to take those shots. He needs to take those shots no matter what, right? Sasha, this may sound a little bit controversial. He had 10 points and he was +1. But if you just watch him play, and watching him play, I would say here live, he's just so slow. And he's such a bad defender that sometimes, as great of a shooter that he is, you really can't have him out there, especially when you're down like that. And there's a reason why he only played 12 minutes. And one's going to say, oh, he had 10 points in 12 minutes. But the reality is he's just not a good defender. And he just looks really lethargic and slow out there. And he misses a lot of assignments. Teams are consistently trying to hunt him. And I was tweeting this out like, hey, you need to be able to hide him a little bit better. And I'm sure Mike will adjust to that as well and try to hide him and not have negative defenders with him. So if you have a combination of Kevin Huerter and Sasha out there, you're in trouble defensively, right? Like, I personally don't want to see that anymore. Malik didn't have his strongest game. He only shot the ball 4 times today. He was 4-4 from the free throw line, 1-2 from beyond the arc. 6 assists, 9 points. Again, not his best game, but not a bad game. So, but Malik struggled defensively tonight. He was really bad. So it's just one of those things where he needs to lock in a little bit better on that end of the floor and just try and get better, man. That's really all he can do. And again, Chris Duarte was exceptional defensively, but he just missed a lot of shots. He was 0-4 from beyond the arc. He was 2 of 3 from the free throw line, so he got to the free throw line. He was being aggressive, right? But he was 1-7 from the floor. That's just one of those things. And McGee had his moments. He had a few turnovers there. I think he had 2. 3 of 6 from the field, 7 points. He had that really exciting lob dunk from Malik Monk. The connection is real. It's very special. And I thought he had good moments. I felt like he had good moments. In 12 minutes, that's what you expect from a backup center. So I'm not disappointed in him by any means at all. So he needs to continue to do what he does, right, which is protect the rim run, and just be a big body for the Kings. Like, that's what he needs to do, and that's what I believe he's going to continue to do. There was no Trey Lyles tonight, who was very big against the Warriors last year. So the Kings missed him there. I do feel like right now he's not a better shooter than Sasha, but he's a better defender. It's going to be interesting to see how Mike brings both of those guys into the frame together. I think offensively it could work, but defensively it's going to be hard. It's just going to be difficult to play both of those guys together, right? Especially seeing how slow and like unathletic Sasha is on that end of the floor. But that's just me. Let's see. What are you guys saying? They should have doubled Curry way earlier. Yeah, it's one of those things like I was saying earlier. Sabonis been alarming to you. I mean, we were trying to get the paint established, but every time they try to pass Sabonis in the paint, it's either we turn it over or Sabonis was not looking to score. I mean, that's just what he does. Like, he tries to get everybody else involved first. Monty didn't address the biggest problem in offseason, adding a true 3-and-D that can guard the other team's best scorers. Yeah, I mean, those are one of the things, right, that you got to address, and we talk about this every year, man. Sabonis looked like he had PTSD. Why didn't Malik play more? That was a head scratcher. He was just so bad defensively, honestly. Sabonis needs to be aggressive on scoring instead of passing, get to the paint, establish, then everything else will open up for us. Yeah, I think he's trying to find the balance of trying to be aggressive and not being too overly aggressive to where he plays with his emotions as opposed to his head. That could be a challenge, right? Like, at the end of the day, like he said, he is the hub of that offense. It rolls through him. So he needs to be able to balance both. Like, it's not that, it's easier said than done. Because can you tell Fox to stop always rubbing shoulders with Steph after the game instead to find a way to beat him? That's hilarious. Hey, but Coach Brown was awful tonight. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair criticism. Can Fox stop? Oh, okay. Kings were complete garbage today, especially in the third quarter. They look tired. Shots not falling when your legs are not under you. Kings defense sucks so bad they only start playing meaningful defense when they catch up and they close in the game. You know, it's part of, as Coach said, exerting energy, trying coming back. They could have just laid down and get ready for Sunday, but they played hard, and I think as a fan you should be able to appreciate that, because most teams would have just backed down and called them for a sub. So the Warriors had 19 turnovers and the Kings had 14. It's concerning. it really is. So, man, that's tough. Hope the coach of the year is. The coach of the year is not what? I don't know what that means, bro. But Kings could not score at all tonight. It was tough. It was a tough night overall to watch, and it was very frustrating. But as I said, you got to roll with the punches and get ready for Sunday. You have to have short-term memory, and whether you win or lose, because then if you win and then you get caught up at the moment, like, oh, I won, we did this isn't that good, and then you lose focus on whoever the next opponent is. So it truly is all about having short-term memory and approaching every opponent the same way and trying to be the best version of yourselves. Reading that scouting report, trying to find the weaknesses of that opposing team that night. And the Lakers have a lot of weaknesses. So what are the Kings going to do to try and get back on winning terms? But those have been my biggest takeaways from tonight's game. But yeah, man, what am I looking forward to Sunday? As you said, as somebody said in the comments, you have to assert your dominance on the glass right off the bat, right? Because the Lakers are playing two bigs, and Christian Wood and Anthony Davis. You know, I was watching them play against the Suns. They came back against a very injury-riddled Suns already, and that's a different conversation for a different day. But the Lakers needed LeBron's greatness to play more than what he should have. And you have to believe that the Kings have to come out firing. They have to be the first to punch. They have to be the ones that are the aggressors and just set the tone defensively. De'Aaron Fox needs to set that tone. You know, a guy like Reeves, who gets a lot of foul calls, he knows how to draw fouls. There's going to be a lot of Laker fans in the building, believe it or not. So, what are you going to do? Like, you have to respond after a night like this, after a dead night like this. But if we had to split, and you would tell me, who would you rather lose to? I'd rather lose to the Warriors. I do not want to lose to the Lakers by any means of the stretch. Like, if they lose to the Lakers, I'm gonna be embarrassed. I hate the Lakers more than I hate the Warriors. So I would be disappointed. I would be like very upset if they lose to the Lakers. But I don't think they will. I think the Kings come back, they respond, they win the game by 7 points or more. They adjust to some of the mistakes that they made tonight. They're sharper in what they do. I believe the shots will fall. Malik needs to have a big game off the bench. And then Kevin Huerter, either Kevin or Chris, they really need to at least hit 40 to 50% of their shots. You know, I want a 2 of 4. I want a 3 of 6 type of game from beyond the arc. Mike is still playing with the lineup. Both Chris and Kevin were 0 of 9, and that was not going to win games. The Lakers are one of the NBA's favorite teams, so therefore they'll get favorable calls. Yeah, I mean, and you got that. So Warriors, Lakers, those teams get calls, and that's another thing that you got to play against. And you have to add that to the equation of how you prepare and approach for these approach these teams, right? But you already know this. Like, their fan base is gonna put pressure on the refs to give them these little soft calls that the Warriors got tonight, and that's just part of it. That's the cachet that these bigger teams come with. So you gotta hit shots. It's just that simple. Fox is like an all-star. Monks disappeared. Get nothing from the 2 guards. Yeah, you definitely got to get something from either Chris, Kevin, or Malik. Like something big. At least 15 to 22 points. Or you got to have a monster game once again from HB or Keegan. So there's options. Like, it's not like the Kings don't have options. You know, Fox is going to be Fox. Sabonis is going to be Sabonis, but you need that third guy to really establish himself. And again, Keegan had a good game today, but he didn't have a great game. So they're waiting for that third person to step up and just put it together. I think it happens against the Lakers, though. So other than that, though, man, I think I'm going to end it tonight. It's been a long night. It's 11:30. I appreciate you guys for watching, for tuning in. I know we came on late. You know, Coach, and everybody else, it takes some time to go in there, listen to the interviews, and I got to come out, set up, all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys for all the love and support. It was a fun night regardless. You know, this is my 10th year doing this. I just really appreciate all the love and support that we've received as a community on Instagram and, you know, on YouTube at times. But I just really appreciate you guys. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace.